What's going on, guys? ShadowX here, back at you for another Dokkan battle video, and I might be getting late to this, but I never really got around to being able to cover it because unfortunately my cord to my phone, in which I plug my device in to record videos, broke. So I couldn't really, record videos, so I had to get a new cord, so got that situated. So I know I'm a little late to this, but I definitely want to, go over the new LRs for part 2, Goku and Vegeta. They definitely are insane, so definitely want to talk about them. So that is what we're going to do. Also, I'm going to quickly cover the little Dokkan video that they had last night. I was actually asleep during that. Kind of forgot about it, to be honest, but yeah. So we'll quickly go over that, in this video. So let's start off with the two LRs main headlining topics for this video. So we have Goku here, who's STR. The card art looks really good. I love his card animation as well. Him firing the Kamehameha is really clean looking. So let's actually check out the super attacks before we check out what these units do. So let's enlarge this. Alright, here's Goku's super attack animation. It's like I'm actually watching the anime. It's crazy how good this looks. Love that close-up shot right there. We needed this moment in good animations, and they finally delivered. Just too good. I love that KO screen too. Just iconic Dragon Ball. So that was Goku's active skill there. So there's Goku's animations. Let's actually check out Vegeta and see what his animations look like. So here's his card art. Let's zoom in here so we can see it a little bit better here. I definitely think, which card art do I like? They're both really good looking, I think, honestly, in my opinion. Yeah, I definitely think like the card animation, Goku wins in that department. And probably the animations as well. I don't know, it's up to you guys, but me personally, I like both the animations and the arts. So here's Vegeta's super attack animations. Let's check these out. Like, it definitely is not horrible looking by any means. I saw a lot of people saying this was mid, and I'm just like, how can you even say that? Like, that's clean. This looks really good. This is active skill transformation. It is a grade 8 transformation as well. There you guys go. Like, you compare that to the AGL giant grade 8 Vegeta's super attack, like that generic ass. beam that he does compared to that, and like there's no way you can say that those animations are mid. Like come on, don't play yourself. Okay, so there's Goku's card art. Let's check out what Goku does here. So of course we have translations from Goresh as always, so thank you for that. So let's zoom in so I can see this a little bit better here. Okay, so Goku STR is introducing the all, or not introducing, his leader skill here is the all-out struggle or final trump card, categories 4 key and then 150% of stats. So one thing with the leader skill, I'm actually very disappointed that they didn't go 170 across the board, given the fact that we now have 200% to leader skills with the introduction of the new anniversary LRs. They have to go 170 and up from here on out, just because of power creep and how difficult content is going to get in this game. As we know with the red zone events and how crazy those bosses are, 150% leader skill ain't cutting it, especially for categories that are dead. This ain't gonna work. I'm sorry, but these leader skills need to be at least 107% and up, or at least giving a 30% sub boost to another category, right? Definitely that would have helped here. These leader skills definitely needed a new leader, right? Like, so I'm not disappointed from that standpoint, but just from the leader skills that we have with the new LRs, I just think they could have definitely done more here. So a little bit disappointing in the leader skill department for both units, I will say that, in my opinion. But let's see what their super attack effects do. So Goku's 12 key raises attack and defense for 1 turn with Mega Colossal, and then his 18 key here massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and then causing Mega Colossal damage, and then he sustain, or you actually lose 4% HP when he does his 18 key, which honestly is not that bad. So him massively raising attack and defense is going to allow him to hit very hard. Keep in mind, he has very high stats, so you're going to see this guy shitting out 10 million plus super attack stats, right? This guy, you have to go full additional with this guy. Like, I don't know. Let's just keep going. Okay, so his passive here, he performs entry animation once only when he's fighting a Vegeta unit, and then with that he will gain 3 key and then attack 7% for the rest of the battle. So if you are fighting Vegeta enemy, you definitely want to have this guy on the team, right? That extra 3 key and 7% attack is going to allow him to hit very hard, as I just mentioned, right? So I think they should have separated like the entry animation and then like the buff that he gets. I don't like how they combine that, just because it limits him, right? One thing that is sort of unique, I guess, is in the fact that like you don't have to see the entry animation as often, because you're not going to be fighting Vegeta enemies quite as frequently as you are Goku enemies, right? I definitely think Vegeta got that better end of the stick with his entry animation, because you are going to be fighting more Goku units, as we will see when I break down Vegeta. But yeah, so there's his entry animation conditions. So it is just Vegeta's Kid Jr. is excluded, right? Obviously. So then he gets attack and defense 100%, gains 7 key for the first 7 turns for the first appearance, which is actually really good, because if you have this guy in a proper setup, you're going to be starting the turn just at 24 key for free, right? Like, dude, this guy doesn't even need key links, So then he gains an additional attack and defense 59% when performing a super attack, gains an additional attack 59% when performing an ultra super attack, so that's his 18 key. So you do, again, like, you're never ever going to see this guy's 12 key if you're running him properly, right? Then he also randomly changes a type of key sphere other than STR to STR, and he has a high chance to perform a critical hit. So that's why you go full additional with this guy, because of the high chance to perform a critical hit on top of his 10+ million attack stat that he's going to be shitting out. He's going to hit ridiculously hard. He's going to be at 400+ K defense. This guy's a monster. He's insane. So I know a lot of people were disappointed with these as being the part 2 LRs, this Goku and Vegeta, just because they want a lot of the player base and the community want these two characters to have their own Dokkan Fest dual celebration, which I understand, it makes sense. But given the theme of this anniversary being Goku and Vegeta, I think this is fine as a release for part 2, right? So this is how they had to make them, like, just completely dumb and beyond broken, right? So he also has an active skill here, able to be used when HP is 59% or below. So not a horrible condition, right? Like in Super Battle Road, if you enter the turn below that threshold, you can just pop that, right? And what it does is it temporarily greatly raises attack and then causes ultimate damage and stuns. So Super Battle Road is going to be ideal, right, for that stun. As far as I'm aware, the red zone, none of the enemies in there can be stunned, so this mechanic won't be very useful in there. But where it is useful, that you definitely want to take advantage of his active skill when you can. And it's not terribly difficult to get, right? Because in difficult content you're going to be taking damage, right? So that 59% threshold isn't really that bad. So his links here: Kamehameha, Saiyan Lineage, Over in a Flash, Z Fighters, Shocking Speed, Shattering the Limit, and then Legendary Power. And his categories here: All Out, Struggle, Final Trump Card, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Goku Family, Turtle School, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, Faded Battle, and then Kamehameha. So really wish he would have had Prepared for Battle. It's fine that he doesn't. Obviously he's hitting hard enough, he's doing enough, right? It's not just sort of a nitpick. But yeah, Kaioken Goku is crazy. So there's him. Let's check out Vegeta and see what he is looking like. So he is Extreme Tech, so keep that in mind. Okay. Passes are getting so long, I feel like I zoom in just to be able to read it. There's just so many words on the page. Okay, so Vegeta here. His leader skill: Inhuman Deeds or Giant Ape Power, categories 4 key, 150% stats. We already talked about what I really think about the leader skills and how they should be implemented at this point with the introduction of the brand new LRs, right? Giant Ape Power literally is a dead category, right? Nobody runs that category ever. Inhuman Deeds was literally dead. Vegeta and Nappa literally were the only proper, and they weren't even a proper lead, like actual lead at 130%, which isn't viable at all. So 150, as I mentioned, isn't going to cut it in today's meta and of Dokkan and how difficult events are now. We really need 107% and up, starting from here on out, right? So we'll see what the first Dokkan Fest of March looks like. If they're going to continue on with the 200% leader skills, or if they're going to sort of restrict them to these big celebration releases, right? But we'll see. So it's 12 key here, he raises attack for 1 turn, and then Colossal. 18 key here, Super Explosive Wave, Mega Colossal, and he literally doesn't have a super attack effect on his 18 key, which is dumb. He is an AoE, so you do want to remember that. He will be very good in World Tournament, right? It's just very disappointing that a 2022 release LR for the 7th anniversary does not have a super attack effect on his 18 key. Dokkan, hello, what are you doing? This guy has design flaws, and you guys will see in a minute. So, just like, Goku, he has an entry animation that will play when you're fighting at Goku. As I mentioned, Goku is a lot more common of an enemy you will see in the game, so the active skill, the entry animation will obviously be more easily attainable and more often. You'll see it more frequently, right? Passive here. Overwhelming battle power. He performs an entry animation once only, and then his condition, along with the Goku, 3 key, attacks 60% for the rest of the battle. There's an enemy whose name includes Goku, which you will see more often, right? He gets 3 key, attack and defense 100%, gains an additional attack and defense 60% when performing a super attack. He gains an additional defense 60% when performing an ultra super attack. He guards actively against all attacks, gains an additional 3 key, attack 30% for the turn once guard is activated. So you look at this passive and you see what he's doing, and it's impressive. Like, he's doing enough. But the problem with this Vegeta is like they're begging you to run him in slot 1, but he doesn't get his passive active really until he super attacks. So ideally in difficult content, you don't want to run this guy in slot 1 because he doesn't get his guard until he gets until he attacks, right? So this is like a slot 2 unit, but they want you to run him in slot 1. Like, the design here is very wonky. Like, I don't know. The fact that he doesn't have a super attack effect on his 18 key is just dumb. I don't understand. He is an AoE, right? So he'll be good, in Super Battle Road, right? Like Pure Saiyan Super Battle Road, this guy will destroy, right? Like, he could have stunned on his 18 key or something. Like, I think that would have made a lot of sense. Sort of like, the physical LR Krillin, right? So just like Goku, he has an active skill transformation here. It is a Great Ape transformation, so able to be used when HP is 40% or below. Now that is very difficult to obtain, especially in difficult content like the red zone stages. Obviously, those enemies just hit so freaking hard, especially Baby. He's dumb. You will be able to get below 40%, but at that threshold of HP, that's not really a way you want to be trying to complete events. You're more often than likely not just to die at 40% HP. It's very difficult to sort of get through events having to rely on low HP, right? I've never really been a fan of these low HP restrictions. At least that's really all it is, right? Like there's no other restrictions stacked with it. So, me personally, I think they could have just made it like 59%. I think that would have been a lot better, just because like Goku, 59 represents him. That's literally who he's fighting. It's Goku and Vegeta as a theme in the anniversary. Like that would have been a lot better, like a lot more easily able to be activated, right? I think that would have just made a lot more sense. But it is what it is, 40%, whatever. Alright, so it is only a one-turn transformation. That you do want to remember that as well, right? So now here's really where they messed up with Vegeta. So his links suck. What are they doing with his links? He has same warrior race, warrior lineage over 9,000. Like why? One of the worst things in the game. Giant transformation. Why? Saiyan Roar, Shining Limit, and legendary power. So they couldn't give him prepare for battle. Like I don't know. He's just very wonky. Like he doesn't have a good linking partner. Like that's another problem with Vegeta. Whereas Goku has several options that you can make Goku look impressive, right? I just think there's obvious design flaws with this Vegeta, and I'm not saying like he's bad. Like this guy is dumb. Like he's ridiculous. I think Kaioken Goku got the better end of the stick, and it's unfortunate because they have a habit of doing this with Goku and Vegeta units, where they just, for whatever reason, they just make Goku way better than Vegeta, and it's unfortunate, right? Like you take a look at the God Gokus or the God Goku and Vegeta that just got their EZA. They just like purposely went out of the way to shaft God Vegeta for no reason, right? God Goku is so much far and away better than Vegeta, right? I don't know what they're doing with Vegeta units. Like someone like on Team B has a thing for Goku, and I don't know what it is, but anyway. His categories here, this is actually a positive aspect of this Vegeta. You're definitely going to get a lot of play out of him. He's on several categories here: Inhuman Deeds, Giant 8 Power, Pure Saiyans, Dragon Ball Seekers, Vegeta's Family, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, Gifted Warriors, Planetary Destruction, Accelerated Battle, Faded Battle, Giant Transformation, and Final Trump Card. So definitely a bright spot for this Vegeta in terms of where you'll be able to use him. One thing with Kaioken Goku I do also want to mention is he is not on Low Class Warrior. None of the Kaioken Gokus are, which they definitely should be. It's really dumb. Like the entire premises of the fight is Vegeta calling Goku a low-class warrior while he is a super elite. Literally, that is the point of their rivalry. So it literally makes no sense why Kaioken Gokus aren't on low-class warrior, because he should be. Anyway, that's besides the point. So his super attack here, when he transforms into his giant ape, his 12 key causes destructive damage, and his 18 key greatly raises attack and then destructive damage. So he also gets 5 key on his active transformation there as well, so you want to keep that in consideration. So this Vegeta, while he is very good, again, extreme tech, for whatever reason, outside of the androids, like they did such a good job with the androids, and then it's like they just went back to their old habits and making extreme tech units with this Vegeta. Like I don't know, like he's not as bad as like Super 17 in terms of his design and the flaws, right? But there's definitely issues here. Whereas Goku, I think, definitely got the better end, right? So they're the two new LRs and what I think of them. So let's go quickly over and talk about the Dokkan video that they had. So they didn't really show off too much here. So part 3, it's basically just stuff that we know from previous anniversaries, right? They're basically following the same roadmap, right? So part 3 missions. We got the new co-op campaign missions. They introduced the EZAs for part 3 and the free-to-play characters. So the LR, right? The Goku and Vegeta, the Chi-Chi and the Bulma, right? And then we also have the new stages announced for part 3 of the Red Zone, right? So very exciting there. And then we'll also be able to get the new, Goku teleporting to Vampa, right? So very exciting there. So there is basically everything that we have in terms of the 2 new LRs and what's coming for part 3. Of course, when we get V-Jump, which should be coming out very soon actually, at the time of me recording this, you know, and again, I'm sort of late on this video, but definitely still want to, you know, cover all the information, right? Yeah, of course, when we get all the brand new information in terms of V-Jump, of course, I'll be making another video and updating you guys. But that is going to do it for this one. Let me know what you guys think of LR Kaioken Goku and Grade 8 Vegeta. Are you guys going to be summoning for them? Keep in mind they are just a regular, you know, top legendary summon. So if you are a free-play player, I definitely would recommend, you know, still trying to go for, you know, the Super Saiyan 4s and the LR Gods, right? I never ever recommend summoning on yellow coin banners. They're just not worth it. Well, these 2 LRs, you know, aren't gonna have like team restrictions, whereas, you know, the previous part 2 LRs are very wonky. These guys don't have that issue, so that is a positive, I will say. It's up to you if you really want to summon for these 2. I personally don't recommend it, but that's just my opinion. You're better off just summoning on banners with better value. I guarantee you the feature listing on this top banner is going to be trash, so you do want to, you know, keep that in mind. But it's completely up to you at the end of the day. I can only give you my opinion and what I think. Me personally, am I going to summon? I'm sort of on the fence. I don't really have a lot of stones right now. Of course, you know, Saiyan Day and, you know, Dragon Ball Super Superheroes coming up. There's a lot coming up around the corner. I still want to have stones for all that stuff, you know, in the future, right? So we'll see. If I do, I'll definitely be making a summon video, so, you know, definitely be on the lookout for that. But that is basically going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I guess with that, I will see you all in the next one.